Okay, and here we go with unit 5. It went unit 6 and back to unit 5. Okay. Write an equation of the given line in slope and intercept form. So the line's right there. You don't have to graph it. It's right there. So remember to write write line equations, linear equations. We go y equals blank x plus blank. Okay. This is the m. This is the b. So m and b. So m is known as the slope. B is known as the y-intercept. So the slope, we need 2 points, okay? So we go down the y-axis for point 1, okay? And then point 2, we want to just move forward till I hit something. I think right there works, okay? Now remember, the slope is the rise over the run. That's why you need 2 points. And we have a rise of 1 unit, okay? So I put positive 1 because I went up. And then a run of 2 units, okay? So 1 over 2. And remember, it was rise, so we went up 1, okay? So positive 1. Okay, and then B is my y-intercept. That means where it crosses the y-axis. That means from the middle, so it crosses right there, and that's negative 1, negative 2. So y equals 1/2 x plus negative 2. Okay, next one. Y equals space x plus space, and then m and b. So m is known as the slope, b is the y-intercept. So the slope is the rise over the run, but to know what that is, we need 2 points. Okay, that's point 1. Okay, and right there. Okay, that would be point number 2. Okay, so the rise, now when I'm going down from point 1, I count by negatives. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So the rise is negative 3, and the run is 1. Now this is an instance where we end up with a 1 on the bottom, so we kind of just take out the fraction and just put negative 3. Okay, and the y-intercept is where we cross from the middle. So on the y-axis, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, positive 5. There is your equation. Okay, now you're graphing the equation. Okay, I want to do this one first, number 4. Y equals 7x minus 3. Okay, so is y here? Yup. Is x there? Yup. So let's make a wall on the y side, and if y is by itself, we have our m and our b right away. So slope, y-intercept. So the slope is 7, we would put a 1 under it, so it's a ratio, and then minus 3 is the y-intercept. So in the y-intercept, I go to negative 1, 2, 3. Then my slope, I'll go up 7 because it's positive, and forward 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't do it again, so just go with the 2 points. It's a very steep line because 7 over 1 is a pretty steep ratio. Okay. Okay, now number 3, you're not quite as lucky. Is y here? Yup. Is x here? Yup. Is the y by itself? No, it's not. So don't label it MB if the y is not by itself. Okay, we have to get the y by itself. Now, mark the y multiplication number at 6. It'd be negative 6, but we don't want that to be negative. So we need to apply the opposite rule because that's a negative. So all you do is make the 2 negative, the 6 positive, and the 18 positive. Now you're ready to go. Okay, now you can put a check mark. That's positive. Okay. Now move your negative 2x out of there. But it can't go to 18, so we put a 0x, and then 2x can go there. So line up your equals, put 6 times y. Okay. 0 plus 2 is 2, and then plus the 18. And I divide everything by 6. Okay. Okay, so 2 divided by 6 is a decimal. It's not 3, that's 6 divided by 2. 2 divided by 6 is a decimal, so we're going to keep that as 26x. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Okay, and now you got y equals mx plus b. So slope is 2/6. The y-intercept is plus 3. So you plot your y-intercept. And you can leave your slope as 2/6 and just go up 2, forward 6, or again, those are both in the second row on a multiplication table. So you could reduce it down to 1/3. But it's up to you, okay? You can do either one. So up 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or you can go up 1, 1, 2, 3. You'll have the same line regardless, okay? It doesn't really matter, okay, when you're graphing. But that needs to be left as a fraction, okay? Because otherwise you end up with a train wreck. Okay, there's a slope on that. Okay, number 5, I want to put that into 2 parts. Y equals -2, and then I want you to put x equals 3. Now, we're missing one of the letters. Put the fact that you're missing x, okay? So if you're missing one of them, you won't have a slope. Just put 3 coordinates. Now, the coordinate I'm not missing is y, so y is going to be constantly at -2 throughout the whole graph. And then the one I'm missing, you can pick anything you want, but let's keep it simple. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Now, guys, this is the x, this is the y, okay? So 1, -2. 1 on the x is right there, -2 on the y is right there. 2, -2. 2 on the x is this way, -2 on the y is this way. 3, -2. 3 on the x is this way, 1, 2, 3. Remember, x is sideways, y is up and down. 1, 2, 3. -2 on the y is -1, -2. Okay? X is horizontal, y is vertical. You end up with a straight horizontal line. Okay, next one, x equals 3. You are missing the y, okay? So this time it kind of flips around. Okay, the letter I'm not missing is x, so x is the constant now, 3. And then I'm missing the y, so let's keep it simple, 1, 2, 3. This is x, this is y. So 3 on the x, 1, 2, 3, 1 on the y, 1. So 3, 1, okay? 3 on the x is right there, 2 on the y is right there. This is x, this is y. So 3, 2. 3, 3. 3 on the x there, 3 on the y there, okay? And you have a straight vertical line this time. Okay, now the back next go out of nothing. For problems number 6 through 9, write an equation, slope-intercept form of the line with the given characteristics. So, writing the equation, slope-intercept form is y equals blank x plus blank. That's the equation, that's the answer. So you have m and b. You got to solve for m and b's, maybe slope, y-intercept. Now on this problem for m, there's no slope through it. The slope is -4. And the b, we always have to use y equals m dot x plus b. The only time you wouldn't necessarily is if the x was a 0 and that would be the b, but it's not, okay? Because -1, 7, okay? Don't draw this, I'm just showing you, okay? So -1 on x would be this way, and then 7 on y would be this way, and that doesn't cross our y-axis, so that can't be the y-intercept. Okay, so y is 7, m is -4, and then x, we put a times dot, -1. Now, always write b before the plus, and then -4 times -1 is 4. Now you take out your 4 by minusing it, and then 3 is equal to b. Okay, through 3, negative 2, and 6, 1, we still need to come up with the equation. So m is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. Okay, now if I'm not given the slope, but I know 2 points, I apply y minus y, x minus x. Okay. Now you want to start with your higher x value when you do that. So we'll start with the one with the 6. 6 is higher than 3, so you put 6, okay, and then 1 above it. Then afterwards you put 3, and then negative 2 above that. So plus plus, if you want to go plus negative on bottom, you can. 1 plus 2 is 3. 6 minus 3 is 3. So we would reduce those, since they're the identical numbers, both by 3. So that would be 1 over 1. Now again, you can get rid of a 1 when it's on bottom. So 1 is your slope. Okay, y-intercept. Y equals m times x plus b. Okay, so the m is 1. And then you can use either one of these. I'll use this one. 1 and then times 6. Doesn't matter which one you use, you get the same result. 1 times 6 is 6. So take away your 6. Negative 5 equals b. Okay. So y equals 1x plus negative 5. Okay, number 8. Parallel to y equals 5x minus 2 through 2, negative 1. Remember, parallel lines have the same m, okay? So I go y equals blank x plus blank. This is the m, this is the b. So same m, what does that mean? Well, it has to have the same m as this one does, and I have the y by itself, so the m is 5 there, the b is minus 2, but we don't want the b, we don't care about that. So the same m, the m has to match here, so 5. Okay, and then b, same old song and dance, y equals m times x plus b. So the m is 5. And then negative 1 replaces the y, and then 2 replaces the x. 5 times 2 is 10, take out your 10. And negative 11 equals b. Okay. Okay, number 9, remember what perpendicular means about the m's. That means the m needs to be flipped, and it needs to be made opposite, meaning from negative to positive or positive to negative. Okay, flip m, make opposite. Y equals blank x plus blank m b. So flip m, what's that mean? Well, we go to the equation here. Label it MB. We can do that as long as the y is by itself. Okay. All right, flip m. Well, we need a fraction. Put it over 1 and then flip it to 1 over 3. Now, if that's negative there, ours needs to be positive. That's what make opposite means. Okay, 1/3. And then b, y equals m times x plus b. So the m is 1/3. And then 5 replaces the y, 3 replaces the x. 5b plus. 1/3 times 3 is 1, minus 1, 4 equals b. Okay, graph the function. Now you got absolute value. Those make v's. So again, vertex start, vertex finish. Vertex is the middle of the V. Now the vertex in an absolute value function always starts at 0, 0, but don't graph that, okay? Now we got to find the vertex finish. Now it's outside the absolute value, that minus 7 is, so you're going to put a K right there. Now remember how K affects the vertex. K produces the same effect to y. Okay, I might put that on the board on the test. K produces the same effect to y. So if we have minus 7 for k, we're going to go ahead and minus 7 to the y, so negative 7. Now what do you do at the x? Nothing. Okay, you don't have an effect to the x. So this is x, this is y. Well, 0 on x is the middle, and negative 7 on the y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down there. So that's where your vertex is at. So now you do forward 1, and then I want 7 points. Okay. There's the absolute value. Okay, number 11, y equals the absolute value of x plus 3. So you got vertex start, which is always 0, 0. And then our vertex finish. Okay. That's supposed to say y equals in front. Sorry, I didn't put that. My bad. Y equals. I didn't put that. I must have forgot. Okay. Now, inside is an h value. Now, how does an h value affect the graph? Well, h produces the opposite effect to the x. So at plus 3, we go to the x and we minus 3. Okay. So k's produce the same effect to y, h produces the opposite operation effect to the x. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3, and then the y, there is no effect. Okay, so we got to plot that point. So negative 3 on x, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, right there. 0 on y just stays on the line. Okay. Okay, right there we go. So a k value moves it up, down. H value moves it across. Okay. All right, then nothing. Now we got 3-story problems. The temperature at this one, you probably wouldn't need. Most people probably wouldn't use all this stuff because it's not real good, but whatever. Temperature at sunrise is 65 degrees. Each hour during the day, the temperature rises 5 degrees. How many hours will it take the temperature to reach 95 degrees? So you got same old song and dance, degrees and hours, x is hours, y is degrees. So the rate of change, the slope, degrees per hour, is 5. Each hour means per hour, 5 times x, positive 5 because it rises. So degrees is y, hours is x. So when we have that amount, we go 0, 1, 2. So we started with 65, then we're adding 5, so 70, 75. You could do that all the way to 95 if you wanted to, but I'll show the standard procedure. Then I blocked the problem off and put 95 degrees with a question mark because that's my answer. Some of you probably know mentally what it is. So equals y. So y starts at 65 and then we're adding 5 every time there's a new hour. 5 times the hours. Okay, so we have 65 plus 5 times x equals y. Now y equals 95. So you replace your y variable with 95 and solve it. Okay, so the operations, you got to highlight the times. You minus 65. At least it's an equation. You don't have to worry about that darn sign flip. Okay, it's 30. Then divide by 5. And you get 6. And that makes sense because like 80, second hour 75, then 80, 85, 90, 95. Okay, then there's this beauty here. I take out a loan from a friend. After 3 years, I owe $7,000 on the loan. After 6 years, I owe $4,500 on the loan. How many years does it take to pay off the loan completely from the time I started making payments? Okay. So you have years and dollars. So X is applied to years, Y is applied to dollars, dollars per year. I don't seem to know that, so I put a question mark. Now always make the table. So years is X, dollars is Y. Okay. Now you can't go 0, 1, 2 without the rate of change. So you go 0, block it off, and then fill in the rest. So you have 3 years, $7,000. That's a pairing. And you have 6 years, $4,500. That's another pair. And then I put 0 under dollars, question mark for years. Now, this is not like those problems we did earlier this week, or I can't remember when we took it, but where you just put a 0 there. No, you don't, because it's going down. So we put B. Okay. Okay, so if you have B, you need to go back and find this, okay? Because you're going to need an M value, okay? So Y minus Y, X minus X. So if I have to use B right there, I'm going to need to find that beginning amount, but I can't do it unless I have my dollars per year. And I can do Y minus Y, X minus X to figure that out. That's what a slope is in real life. So higher X is 6, 6 minus 3, and then 4,500 minus 7,000, okay? Actually, this is not going to work the way I want. So what I'd like you to do is go in the problem and just switch the 3 to a 4. Okay, please do that. Otherwise, I'm going to get a sloppy thing. And since it's Friday, 4,500, I'd rather not do that. Okay, so I get negative 2,500. Now it's going to be 6 minus 4. Divided by 2. Negative 1,250 times X. Okay, that's what that does. Okay, then I divide it. Okay, then I design my line. I need a line because there's a B value. Now I don't know what B is, but I know I'm adding negative 1,250 times X every month. Okay, and then to find B in a real life problem, we apply Y equals M times X plus B. So M is negative 1,250. That's the M value. That's why you need it. And then I'll put X and Y. So we'll have X be 4 and Y be 7,000. Sound good? So Y is 7,000 and then times 4. B plus negative 5,000. Okay, then you take out your 5,000 by adding. And that's 12,000. 12,000 equals B. So you can put 12,000 here, which makes sense on the table from a logical standpoint, and 12,000 here. Okay, so there's your equation, 12,000 plus negative 1,250 times X equals Y. And now I set Y equal to 0. Okay. So Y is out, 0's in. Okay, so get rid of the 12,000. Negative 1,250 times X equals negative 12,000. And divide each side by negative 1,250. And you might get a decimal, that's okay. 9.6, that's okay. So 9.6 years. Second PRB equals, and make it 9 3/5. So again, we have to put the B on the table. We need to find this using this expression here. And we'll also need to find the B to complete our line. Okay, then the scatter plot. Okay, cross these out. 0, 1, 2. I have no use for like an actual year. I don't care what the year was. But you do start at 0, not 1. Okay. Data below shows the estimated amount of computer and video game sales in given years. You can see it right there. Make a scatter plot for the data and draw a trend line. So this is X, this is Y. So X, we got to go to 8. So the X is, this is the X. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the y-axis, well, we got big numbers, so start at 150 and add 20 every time until you're above the 270 threshold. 170, 190, 210, 230, 250, 270. Okay, so 0, 152 right there. 1, 185 there. 2, 196. 3, 210, 4, 225, it's kind of leveling out, 5, 241, 6, 250, 7, back to 241, okay, and then 8, 270. Now it follows a positive trend. It does dip there, but that's okay. Now put your ruler on put a ruler on the starting point and just manipulate it so the line follows the points, okay? That looks good, okay? But it should be going up. Now write an equation for your trend line. So the first thing I do is make a table, okay? X, Y. X is years and Y is sales. Now you want to put the first point 0, 152, okay? Because that can be our B if it's with 0. It has to be with 0 though. Then I'll pick 2 points on my line. I'll pick the third one above the 3, so 3, 210. And then I'll go with the one above the 6, so 6, 250. They just got to be close to the line. Okay, now I have everything I need to write the equation. Y equals blank X plus blank M B. So M, you're going to have to apply Y minus Y, X minus X. Okay, let's go over here. Higher X is 6, so 6 minus 3 on bottom, and then 250 minus 210. So if you want to make them plus negatives, you can. So it's 40 over 3. 40 divided by 3. Not a nice answer. Second PRB equals, we'll go 13 1/3. And the B, you can do Y equals M times X plus B, but the B's also can be 152. Okay? Since it's with 0, it can be my B in the function. Okay, that's a wrap.